Japan has recently made a significant leap in its defense capabilities. The first surface-to-ship missile unit has been deployed on Okinawa's main island. This key strategic move places Japan in a new position of strength and readiness, especially in response to China's increasing assertiveness in the region. Now let's delve into the specifics. The missile unit is equipped with the Type 12 missile, a product of the renowned Mitsubishi Heavy Industries. The Type 12 is no ordinary missile. It's well known for its advanced guidance systems, a feature that elevates its precision and reliability. It's not just about the target, it's about hitting the target right where it matters. The operational range of this missile is between 200 and 400 kilometers. This distance, while already formidable, is set to increase significantly. Japan has plans to extend the operational range of the Type 12 missile to a whopping 1,000 kilometers by the year 2026. This extension would not only increase the missile's reach, but also its deterrence capabilities. This deployment is a direct and calculated response to China's assertiveness in the region. It signifies a significant leap in defense capabilities and aims to monitor Chinese military vessels in the region. It's not about aggression, it's about preparedness. It's about ensuring the safety and sovereignty of Japan and its people. However, this move has not been without controversy. It has sparked concerns among Okinawa residents and Governor Tamaki Deni due to plans for further missile deployments with extended ranges. The implications of this deployment, both domestically and internationally, will continue to unfold in the days to come. This missile deployment is more than just a show of force. It has wider implications for the region. At the heart of this strategic move is Japan's desire to keep a close eye on Chinese military vessels navigating in the region. The Type 12 missile, with its advanced guidance systems and an operational range of 200 to 400 kilometers, provides an unprecedented vantage point for surveillance and defense. The implications are far-reaching, extending beyond the immediate vicinity of Okinawa's main island. Yet this missile unit is just one part of a larger defensive strategy. Japan has been steadily fortifying its defense capabilities, with the recent completion of amphibious operation unit deployments marking another significant milestone. These units, equipped for both land and sea operations, further bolster Japan's ability to respond to potential threats. But Japan is not standing alone in this endeavor. There's a potential for joint naval patrols in the South China Sea involving the United States, Japan, and the Philippines. This collaborative approach exemplifies the shared interest among these nations in maintaining stability and balance of power in the region. However, these actions have not been met without criticism. China, a key player in the region, has voiced its concerns loudly. It accuses Japan and its allies of reinforcing Asia-Pacific deployments with a Cold War mindset. From China's perspective, these defensive measures are seen as provocative, a step back into a time of heightened tension and division. As we delve deeper into this topic, it's crucial to remember that the deployment of the missile unit and other defense measures are not isolated actions. They're part of a larger narrative of geopolitical maneuvering and strategic positioning. In the next scene, we'll explore how Japan is preparing for a potential conflict and the steps it's taking to protect its citizens. China has criticized these actions, accusing Japan and its allies of reinforcing Asia-Pacific deployments with a Cold War mindset. Japan is not just bolstering its defense capabilities, it is also preparing for a potential conflict with China over Taiwan. The land of the rising sun is taking a multifaceted approach to its defense strategy. In addition to deploying its first surface-to-ship missile unit, the Japanese government is constructing bomb shelters on its southwestern islands, particularly in the Okinawa prefecture. These shelters are not your average basements. They are designed with reinforced walls and provisions for 2 weeks of supplies, indicating the gravity of the potential conflict Japan is preparing for. Not stopping at the main islands, the Japan Self-Defense Forces are also relocating defense assets to the Nansei Island chains. A particular focus is being placed on islands like Yonaguni, which sits at the westernmost point of Japan, closer to Taiwan than the mainland. The strategic placement of these defense assets and bomb shelters further underscores Japan's intent to fortify its southwestern frontier. However, these preparations have not been met with universal approval. The residents of these islands, especially Okinawa, are understandably anxious. The construction of these shelters brings a stark and tangible reminder of the potential conflict with China, inciting fears of being targeted. The Okinawa governor, Tamaki Deni, echoes these concerns but from a diplomatic perspective. He is calling for peace and diplomatic efforts to de-escalate the tensions in the region. He urges the international community to take note of the escalating situation and to collectively work towards a peaceful resolution. These preparations by Japan serve as a stark reminder of the high stakes in the East China Sea. They underline the urgency and seriousness of the situation, as well as Japan's resolve to protect its territories and maintain peace in the region. Residents fear being targeted by China due to these shelters, and the Okinawa governor is calling for diplomatic efforts for peace. The bomb shelters are not the only new development. Japan is also enhancing its missile capabilities. As the world watches, Japan is making strategic moves to fortify its defenses. Along with the construction of bomb shelters, the nation is significantly ramping up its missile capabilities. The procurement of air-launched missiles and the development of a hypersonic glide vehicle are key components of this strategy. Air-launched missiles, as the name suggests, are launched from aircraft and are designed to strike ground and sea targets. The inclusion of these missiles in Japan's arsenal is a clear indication of the country's intent to diversify its defense capabilities. These missiles could prove crucial in a potential conflict, providing the Japanese self-defense forces with an agile response to threats. But Japan isn't stopping there. The nation is also developing a hypersonic glide vehicle, a state-of-the-art weapon that travels at speeds greater than Mach 5, that's over 5 times the speed of sound. Unlike traditional ballistic missiles, hypersonic glide vehicles fly at lower altitudes and can maneuver mid-flight, making them a formidable challenge for enemy defenses. Japan's development of this technology signals a significant leap in its defense capabilities. These advancements are not happening in isolation. They are part of a larger strategic shift in the region. The United States Marine Littoral Regiments, specialized units designed for coastal warfare, may use the Ryukyus, a chain of islands in the southwestern part of Japan, as a base to target Chinese warships. This adds another layer of complexity to the region's defense dynamics. In the face of potential conflict, Japan is making calculated moves to fortify its defenses. The construction of bomb shelters and the enhancement of missile capabilities demonstrate a clear commitment to safeguard its territory and its people. The U.S. Marine Littoral Regiments may use the Ryukyus to target Chinese warships, further enhancing Japan's defense capabilities. These developments in Japan's defense capabilities have far-reaching implications for the region and the world. Japan's recent deployment of its first surface-to-ship missile unit, equipped with Type 12 missiles, signifies a notable leap in the nation's defense capabilities. This move, coupled with plans to construct bomb shelters, is not merely an isolated action. It plays into a larger narrative, one that could potentially shift the balance of power in the region. The deployment of the missile unit on Okinawa's main island enhances Japan's capabilities to monitor Chinese military vessels in the region. It's a clear response to China's increasing assertiveness, and it sends a powerful message. Japan is prepared to defend its territorial interests. However, this development is not without its concerns. The missile unit's placement has sparked unease among Okinawa residents. They fear becoming targets, and their concerns are not unfounded. As Japan fortifies its defenses, it may inadvertently escalate tensions, drawing the island further into the crosshairs of potential conflict. Beyond Japan's borders, other nations are watching closely. The United States, Japan's longtime ally, is considering joint naval patrols with Japan and the Philippines in the South China Sea. This proposition has drawn criticism from China, who accuses them of reinforcing Asia-Pacific deployments with a Cold War mindset. The potential for cooperation between nations could further intensify the situation. On a global scale, Japan's increased defense capabilities could have significant implications. It adds another layer of complexity to the already intricate web of international relations. Countries around the world may have to rethink their strategies, considering Japan's stronger stance. The ripple effects of this deployment, and Japan's preparations for potential conflict, could be felt far and wide. Yet amid these developments, there are calls for diplomatic efforts. Okinawa's governor, Tamaki Deni, calls for peace. These echoes remind us that while defense is crucial, dialogue and diplomacy should always be the first line of action. As the situation develops, the world watches closely. Only time will tell what the outcome will be. In a historic move, Japan has decided to join the US and the Philippines in patrolling the South China Sea. This unprecedented action marks a significant shift in Japan's defense strategy. For the first time, Japan is extending its defense initiatives beyond its immediate territorial waters, signaling its commitment to maintaining stability in the region. The joint patrol, comprising of the United States, Japan, and the Philippines, aims to counterbalance China's increasingly assertive presence in the South China Sea. They hope to ensure freedom of navigation and uphold international law in these crucial waters. However, this development has not been met without resistance. China's state media has reacted strongly, accusing Japan of escalating tensions in the region. They argue that Japan's involvement is an unnecessary provocation that threatens to disrupt the delicate equilibrium. Despite the criticism, Japan remains firm in its decision. This move is seen as a clear message to China and could potentially change the dynamics in the South China Sea. As Japan takes a more active role in regional security, the world watches closely, anticipating the ripple effects of this bold move. Only time will tell what the outcome will be, but one thing is certain: Japan's defense strategy is no longer confined within its borders. It's a new era for Japan, and the world is watching. As the news of Japan joining the South China Sea Patrol with the US and the Philippines broke, the Chinese state media did not hold back its dissent. They have strongly accused Japan of escalating tensions in the region, stating that Japan's actions are playing with fire. In a series of articles and commentaries, they warned Japan of the potential consequences of its actions. These stern words reflect the high stakes involved in the South China Sea dispute. The Chinese state media's reaction also highlights the country's deep-seated concerns over Japan's changing defense strategy. They argue that Japan's involvement in the South China Sea Patrol is an unnecessary provocation that could disrupt the delicate balance of power in the region. They have urged Japan to reconsider its decision, warning that its actions could lead to increased tensions and even potential conflict. This strong reaction from China underscores the complexity and sensitivity of the South China Sea dispute. It also indicates that the situation in the South China Sea is likely to become more tense in the coming days, with the possibility of further diplomatic and military standoffs. As Japan stands firm in its decision, and China continues to voice its opposition, the world is left to watch as the drama in the South China Sea unfolds. The next steps taken by both nations will be critical in determining the future stability of the region. Let's take a step back and summarize the recent developments that are reshaping the geopolitical landscape in the South China Sea. Japan, a nation traditionally known for its pacifist stance, has made a significant shift in its defense strategy. By joining the South China Sea Patrol with the US and the Philippines, it has sent a clear signal about its willingness to play a more active role in regional security matters. This move has not gone unnoticed. The Chinese state media has reacted strongly, accusing Japan of escalating tensions and playing with fire. These stern words reflect China's deep-seated concerns over Japan's changing defense approach. The situation in the South China Sea is likely to become more tense in the coming days, with the possibility of further diplomatic and military standoffs. These developments have drawn the attention of the world. As Japan stands firm in its decision, and China continues to voice its opposition, the world is left to watch as the drama in the South China Sea unfolds. The next steps taken by both nations will be critical in determining the future stability of the region. As the situation continues to unfold, the world waits with bated breath to see what the future holds for the South China Sea. The geopolitical chess game in the South China Sea is far from over, and the world watches on, anticipating the next move.